Tonight we're going to be looking at music, the key to learning for 3 to 6 year olds. So I've got so much fantastic information that we want to share with you. All right, so let's see if we can get the technology working. So the goals for today: to understand that music is a key factor in the development of young children, understand that involvement in a music program helps to educate the whole individual in all of those ways, to see how easy it is to create a music lesson plan. So I've put together a lesson plan for you all just to see how easy it is. Of course, many of you are already teaching and have been teaching for many, many years, but I also know that we have some people that are new to the profession, that maybe are new to early childhood and have come from secondary or primary school working with older children. And so we're going to have a really good look at how easy it is to put together a lesson plan based on 30 to 45 minutes. And we're going to link the activities to the Australian Early Years Learning Framework. And we have looked at other curriculums around the world, and basically my feeling is that we are all on about the same things, but it's just different terminology. So someone is crossing things out on the screens. Very interesting. Technology, my goodness. All right, so music really is one of the best ways to learn. And there's a slide here: an involvement in a music program helps to educate the whole individual. So young children can literally develop their skills intellectually, creatively, physically, emotionally, socially through music and movement. So a holistic based approach can inspire children to sing, move, dance, listen, create, play instruments and love music. So I want to start by just sharing a couple of little stories with you. I actually, I did my music education training in the 70s. Yes, I'm really that old. And then I taught in a high school. I taught in a couple of high schools for about 3-4 years, and then decided to do some training in music therapy and special education. I was just very interested in doing some more study, and had some wonderful experiences during my music therapy training in particular, and the special education training, working in special schools, worked in an institution here in Melbourne back in the early 80s called St Nicholas Hospital, Dame Mary Herring Spastic Centre. So some really interesting experiences. And one of the things that I learned back in those days when I was doing training was that there's really no child in the world that can't receive just a huge amount of benefit from music and movement, regardless of where that child comes from, regardless of what the child's background is. It doesn't matter who the child is, what their abilities are, what their background is, they can get so much from a musical experience. And I often tell the story, and I know some of our listeners will have heard me share this story about, in particular, working at St Nicholas Hospital, and it was an institution for severely and profoundly disabled children, and I just remember these children with multiple disabilities coming into the music classroom with a teacher, one-on-one, and the teacher would work with each child coactively. These children were literally in wheelchairs, they were on beds, they were being wheeled in, and many of them were deaf, were blind, and it just didn't matter what we did. We'd take their hands and put their hands on our voice boxes, and they'd feel the vibrations of us singing to them. We'd move their limbs coactively. We would do wheelchair dances, and just the joy in the room, it was just palpable, just to feel that joy, that the smiles on the children's faces. It was just really a beautiful experience. And I learned very early on in my career that it's really about music can provide so much joy as well as help to develop all skills. I remember doing a program with a child at a spastic centre and helping that child learn to walk through music. So there's nothing that can't be developed through music. So Plato said, I would teach children music, physics and philosophy, but most importantly music, for the patterns in music and all the arts are the keys to learning. And that takes me to the next point. So the next point, I want to talk about the brain. Here we have a slide. Music and movement is one of the few subjects that uses both sides of the brain. So movement can help to strengthen the neural pathways that link the brain and the body. So movement is one of the most important aspects. It's one of the keys to learning. And of course, music combined with movement is just dynamite. The brain needs young people to move regularly using the whole body. And activities include fine and gross motor development. So children need to be involved in all of these activities. They need to be involved in songs that include balance and help to develop flexibility and eye fitness, spatial development, and all the cross-patterning. So we have 3 midlines. And so we can be putting the beat on different parts of our body and crossing those midlines, which help to strengthen the neural pathways between the body and the brain, and also the 2 hemispheres. So evidence suggests that music and movement is central to learning. So we need to have a multi-sensory approach to teaching. And this is so easily done through music and movement. Using all the senses to help develop multiple brain systems. So optimum learning occurs when the body through movement is involved, as well as an interaction of all our senses. So learning through music and movement and the arts can ultimately provide the impetus for all learning. So it's really, really very, very exciting. All right, I'm not going to read through all of this because there's so much I want to get through. Of course, we're going to create a handout, and those people that are actually online, you will all receive our free handout with all this wonderful information. But I think that I know, in fact, I'm preaching to the converted, and our listeners, you will know that music is vitally important and can develop cognitive skills, physical skills, social and emotional, and creativity and self-expression. So let's move on. Of course, we're leading up to having a look at a typical lesson, and a typical lesson for 3 to 6-year-olds. Now, I started teaching young children in the mid-80s. I had my first child in 1985, and you know, in Melbourne there was nothing around to take children, young children, to have music classes, and that was in the mid-80s. Of course, nowadays there are many, many music schools and many opportunities for children to join musical activities, but back in those days there was nothing. And so I did lots of looking around, try to set up opportunities to get professional development and more training in that whole area, and of course did some extra study. And I found a very particular way to put the lessons together. So a dear friend and colleague of mine, Beth Rankin, in Melbourne, we created a school of music and movement called the Counterpoint School of Music and Movement, and we began our own classes. We had parents coming along with their babies, toddlers, 3s, 4s, 5s, and even had after-school programs for older children. And we discovered a couple of very interesting things, and I want to share these things with you before I show you the lesson that we're going to share with you. First thing is the ROAR principle. And this is based on what young children need to have every single lesson and during their day, just to enhance their learning. So repetition. And I think we all know that. Repetition, children love what they know. So repetition is vitally important. But that doesn't mean we just do exactly the same thing in exactly the same way every single week or every single day for those of you that are with your kids every single day. It means it means that you let me just get back to repetition. So it means that we can extend all the activities and add interest all the time. So we're going to talk about that. All right, so repetition. The next point that's really, really important is imitation. And so we are doing activities, and the children are imitating us the whole time through singing, through body percussion, through movement, through instruments. So they are copying us at exactly the same time. And the last R for the ROR principle is ritual. And young children love and need rituals. And we're going to talk a lot about that. So really important, I'm going to say that again, the ROR principle. And then the next and last thing I want to share with you before we go on to the lesson plan is the lesson topography. And again, with my dear friend Beth, all those years ago in the 1980s, we developed this way of putting together the lesson, which I still use today because I just find that it's such a fantastic way of putting the lesson together. So I've called it the early years lesson topography. And there we have the mountain with the sunshine, and here's a little bit of information. So basically, if you're a music specialist or you're an educator who wants to provide a music experience for your children and a music class specifically once a week, plus incidental music every single day, which is the absolute ideal situation, I would suggest the following, that we start with everybody sitting together and we're all at the bottom of the mountain. We haven't exerted any energy yet, and we're all singing together and we're doing lots of beat work and actions and so on. And then very gradually we start to move up the mountain and we get more and more active and more energetic, and we start dancing and we start playing instruments, and it goes crazy, 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 and we go up the mountain and then we come back down the mountain. And that seems to really work well. So they're my 2 points. So we have the ROR principle, number 1. Number 2, the early years lesson topography. Okay, guys, we are ready for the lesson. So here's a little bit about our early years learning framework. Of course, if you are in Australia, you will know there's the 3 sections: belonging, being, and becoming. Of course, in every country, the terminology and the language will be different, but having said that, in essence, it's all so similar wherever we go in the world. This is the early years learning framework, and there's 5 outcomes, so have a quick read through that. There are 5 outcomes, and we're going to link everything we do in the lesson to those 5 outcomes in the curriculum. All right, guys, we are ready. Now, can you see me? I think you can see me. Is that correct? Maybe someone could let me know. All right. This is the lesson plan. So based on a 30 to 45 minute lesson. Now,
Susie,
yes, Phil.
You need to adjust the computer because you've chopped off the top of your head and your eyes, and we're looking right up your...
So you can see me. So I'll just... Is that better?
No, the other way, you dingbat.
Okay, how about that?
Your computer should be higher if it's possible, because we're looking up your nose, but that's all right. I'm sure everybody thinks you've got a beautiful nose, dear.
How's that?
Yes, okay. Yeah, no. Yes, don't touch it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Phil. Okay, so we're going to whiz through this. Now, obviously, I don't have a group of children with me. I'm not going to go through entire activities because I've got about 10 minutes left to just go through this. This is a taste, guys, of how I implement the RORA principle and the lesson topography. And also everything we've spoken about, everything I've mentioned in the lead up to this, all the brain research, all the goals that we can help children to develop through music. So building those social and emotional skills, creativity, self-expression, etc. Okay, so having all of that on board, let's begin. So we can start with Action Leader as an action song. So here you are going to all get a copy of this. And we have different columns. There's the activity, a description, the learning outcomes, resource, various different resources. And I'm going to play you a little bit of this action song. So I want you to imagine all the children are sitting in a circle, and I'm going to start by singing and putting the beat somewhere on my body. Be an action leader, I'm sure that you can. Be an action leader, the best one in the land. La 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 la. Hey! I'm going to play you a little bit of this track, just a tiny bit, just so you can get an idea. Let's see, hopefully this will work.
An action leader, I'm sure that you can. Be an action leader, the best one in the land. La 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 la. Be an action leader, I'm sure that you can. Be an.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. So if we look at the second column, the action leader, choose a leader to make up simple repetitive actions on the beat. So put the beat somewhere on your body. Now you saw I was crossing a midline. That's one, the midline down here. We also have a midline around our tummy, dividing our body in two. So if we do this, that's crossing the midline. We have a midline going from front to back. So going behind is also crossing the midline. So lots of beat work crossing the midline is really excellent foundation for the children. All right, we can do this song soft, loud. And if you were there, I would be asking you, soft, loud, fast, slow. We can sing in a high voice. We can sing in a low voice. So that's what I mean by repetition, but making it interesting. So lots and lots of repetition, but in different ways. So starting with an action song, and all the children are thoroughly engaged in the experience. Now, we also incorporate lots of transition songs, and we're going into a rhyme. Can you find your wriggly fingers? Can you give them a wriggle? Can you give them a wriggle up? High, can you give them a wriggle down low? Now hide them away. They want to come out and play. They want to wriggle. And roly poly, up, up, up. Roly poly, down, down, down. Roly poly, out, out, out. Roly poly, in, in. Roly poly. Now, I'm going to show you, first of all, the action leader. That's on a resource called, and I hope you can see this, called Move It. This is a collection of songs, rhymes, instrumental activities, and so on that we put together.
Just lift it a little higher, Suze. A little higher.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay, so that's Move It. And Roly Poly is available on this fabulous collection. This is a book called Merrily Merrily, and it's published by Nursing Mothers Association, and it's a fabulous collection of all kinds of rhymes and songs and activities for young children. So that's certainly available in Australia. If you are outside of Australia, you'd like to get one, let us know and we'll find out where you can get that from. Okay, then we have a hello song. And I'm just going to introduce this to you. Hello, everyone, it's nice to see you. Hello, Phil, can you sing me your name? Phil. Well, then
My
Phil.
name's Phil, don't ask. Technology. My name's Phil.
Thank you for singing your name. And so then we might put the beat somewhere else. So I might say to Phil or sing to Phil, Phil, where can we put the beat this time? Or where can we tap on your body this time? Where can you tap Phil on your head? What a great idea. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you. Hello, Phil. Can you sing me your name?
Hello, Susie.
Thank you for singing. Thank you for singing your name. I'm just going to play you a little bit of this so you can hear it. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you. Hello, Georgia. Can you sing me your name? My name is Georgia. Thank you for singing. Thank you for singing your name. There we go. All right, so we're zipping along. And here is where our ritual comes in. In fact, the whole sequence of activities is part of the ritual. And I hope you can see Funky Monkey. Hello, everyone. And I hope you're all singing, hello,
Funky.
So Funky loves to sing hello to all the children, and Funky goes around and sings hello to everyone. Now, some of the children will match the pitch. Many won't match the pitch. So Funky will encourage the children that maybe use their speaking voice and maybe don't have any response yet, always encourages children to sing. And so young children need to learn that they have a singing voice, and how do they make that singing voice? They have a speaking voice, they have a low voice, they have a high voice. They have many different voices, and children need to learn this. So that's what the activity is all about. And then Funky becomes an integral part of the lesson. And so Funky may sit somewhere. I don't know if you can see Funky, but Funky is going to be listening to all your beautiful singing throughout the entire lesson. And now I have something very special to show you. It's a friend of Fuzzy's. I hope you can see this. Here is a box I put on the lid. I wonder whatever inside is hid. Why, it's Fuzzy the Clown, without a doubt. Would you like me to lift him up and you can watch him pop out? What did you say, Funky? Oh, you would like to see Fuzzy. Fuzzy pops right up. Whoop! And he dances and dances all around, and he dances and dances all around, and he dances and dances all around, and then he pops back down. Oh! Oh, Fuzzy was very, very tired. My friend Fuzzy sleeps all day, but when nighttime comes he loves to play. He waits till everyone is fast asleep, then out of his box Fuzzy has a peep. Whoop! He shakes his head, he licks his lips. I hope you're doing all these actions with us. He blinks his eyes, he wriggles his hips, he taps his nose and gives a sideways glance. Then Fuzzy pops up, whoop, 'cause it's time to dance. And he dances and dances all around, and he dances and dances all around, and he dances and dances all around, and he dances and dances till the early morn. But now he's so tired, and he has a big yawn. Oh! He stretches his arms up to the sky. Then he pops down. Oh! And he blows a kiss goodbye. And so on and so on. And the children love this activity. And Literally, they want to go over and over and all have a turn. Now, there is rich learning in this activity. First of all, we are encouraging the children to pop down, be still and quiet, be really concentrating, attending and listening. Listening skills, fantastic. Phil, turn off your audio, please. We can hear you typing. Thank you. And so they're very still and quiet, and then Fuzzy just pops up a little bit and he shakes his head. So body awareness. He licks his lips. Tongue muscle development. So this is helping our young children develop their tongue muscle, which is really important for developing speech and language. Blink your eyes. So again, body awareness. Wriggle hips. So again, body awareness. Tap your nose. So where is your nose? Can you connect your finger to your nose? Give a sideways glance. So very rich learning. Then Fuzzy pops up. Whoop. So learning the spatial concept about coming up, matching it with the pitch, because it's time to dance. And of course, children have opportunities to be leaders, and they love that. They have a short time and they can shine in their special moment, be a leader. They feel really good about themselves. They're developing their confidence, their self-esteem. Then they're having a yawn. And again, a yawn is helping to exercise those parts in the mouth, the jaw. And of course, stretching up high as well as matching the pitch with high and low. We're also involved in muscle strength and tone. So there's so much rich learning. All right, so we're going to move on. If we just go back to that very first lesson plan. So of course, this is all the detail. You can see we're about halfway through, and I really have to just whiz through. So we're right up the top of the mountain. We've done some dancing with Fuzzy, and now we're ready to join hands and do one of the children's favorite activities, which is a Hasidic dance. Now, this is called Haida, and Hasidic music developed in the late 1800s in Eastern Europe. It's a Jewish dance form, if you like. It's a nigun, which is a wordless melody, and Haida is the word that's used. There's thousands of nigunim around, and they're fabulous, very much like Greek music. Start very slowly, get faster and faster. So, of course, I can't exactly show you the dance. I'm going to play a little bit of it. It does, as I said, just get faster and faster. Now, we get children in a big circle. Let's join hands and make a great big circle. Let's join hands and make a great big circle. Let's join hands and make a great big circle. Ready to do our dance. And we're going to do some very simple steps. We're going to stamp. We're going to clap. You'll hear the claps. And the second section is wriggly fingers. This is how it sounds. Here we go. Stamping. Haida, 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 haida. Haida, 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 Haida. Oh, there we go. So you can see and hear that it gets faster and faster. Now, as the children get older, we can teach them a grapevine step and keep extending. So all the details are there. Now, I should just show you that dance we have recorded on, and I hope you can see it. This is our latest early childhood album, which we did a couple of years ago, called Beat Street. and we've recorded it on that one. Okay, it's instrument time. It's instrument time. Can you get instruments? It's instrument time. Now, there's a whole spiel about how we introduce the instruments. We play lots of instruments inside a bag, inside a box. This is a beautiful bag that I was given in South Africa. So, South Africa guys, friends, thank you so much. Okay, so there's also very specific ways to hand out instruments and strategies and transition activities. We haven't got time to go through all of those today in this short period of time, but there's some information about it. And there's a little song that we sing, everybody close your eyes, you will get a big surprise. And we go around and we hand out all the instruments. No looking, no peeping, everybody close your eyes, you will get a big surprise. And we hand out the instruments like that. And then it's time to play. And let's see, we have a maraca. Well, we play and we play and we play and we stop. And we play and we play and we play and we stop. And every week we introduce gradually more and more instruments. We've got, these are beautiful kaleidoscope instruments. We love these instruments, lovely bright colours and really durable instruments. And then here's a song called Rock and Rhythm. 1, 2, 3, let's hang on. We'll just get a tambourine. 1, 2, 3, can you play it on your knee? And stop. 4, 5, 6, can you play it on your hips and play? And stop. 7, 8, 9, can you play it on your thighs and play? 10, 11, 12, play it any way yourself. Play it on yourself. And stop. Play it in the air. Play it side to side. Play it in front and play it behind. Play it up high. Play it down low. Listen to this rhythm. Up we go. And rock and rhythm, rock and rhythm, rock and rhythm, rock and play. I'm going to play you a little bit of the track just so you can see. Have a listen.
3, play it on your knees. 4, 5, 6, play it on your hips. 7, 8, 9, play it on your thighs. 10, 11, 12, play somewhere on yourself. Play it in the air and play it side to side.
And
I was coming into play.
oh, so it was coming into play. Oh well.
I missed out again.
All right, sorry, Phil. And I'm just going to keep going because we're nearly finished the lesson. And then, instruments away, that is all for the instruments today. So it's really important to have transition activities, always linking, and a wonderful way to collect the instruments. And of course, then Funky comes out, goodbye everyone, and everybody sings goodbye Funky. Let's clap our hands, let's clap our hands, let's clap our hands and wave goodbye. Let's clap our hands, let's clap our hands, let's clap our hands and wave goodbye. Let's clap our hands, let's clap our hands, let's clap our hands and wave goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Now, I have whizzed through that lesson. Let's show you what we've got for you. We've got 3 songs that we're going to give you as part of this free handout. This is Action Leader, which, as I showed you, I think, yes, it's on Move It. The next song is Hello Everyone, it's nice to see you, and that's on Funky Monkey. Now, as well as this music being available on CDs, it's also on iTunes. So you can get any of this on iTunes. And the third song, of course, is Haida, which is beautiful dance music, which is on Beat Street.